I want to do a quick video on chopping your card, especially Lenormand. And because of the fact that one, they're a small deck, a little tiny deck, which is awesome because like the larger spreads or using all the cards and stuff like that are, you know, you don't need as much room. But anyway, I just got my deck in and um, first thing I want to do is chop off the borders. I don't like borders, but I did want to give a little bit of advice for people who do want to chop them down. The reason I say you want to, chopping them down, one, I think it makes the picture stand out a lot better, and also it makes them smaller. You wouldn't think, you know, you see this right here. I mean, there it is in my hand. Small deck, a little tiny deck. But when you're laying out a big bunch of cards, well, you get a great big deck. Here, or amount of space, is the difference. One that I've cut and not cut. Now look at the difference between these cards. And again, like I said, I personally really love the way the cards come out. So there you go. If you want more space, and I think the cards read better with the borders off. Just me, I like, it's just something I like. But anyway, space-wise, cutting your borders, as you can see, makes a big difference in the amount of cards, which is going to give you a lot more space to work with on a smaller deck. This is a deck that I ordered right here, the MLLE or Mademoiselle Lenormand. Nick, I guess that's how you say it. And this is the one that I'd ordered. I said, really thrilled because they actually weren't even supposed to be in here. But anyway, advice. First of all, if you got a steady hand, which I have no problem with it, there you go. Scissors, good old-fashioned scissors. But you got to make sure you have a steady hand to be able to do that. I have no problem with it. Decks come out well. If you do that, you can take real fine grain sandpaper once you're done and do the edges to smooth them out if you have any kind of issues like that. It's actually pretty easy. But one thing I did, you're going to need a corner cutter right here. This is a little X-Acto corner cutter. Maybe a couple dollars is what we paid for it, and quite simple. You stick the card just, well, if I can turn it around here. The card goes right in the corner, and boom, you push the button, and it chops the corners off for you, or rounds the corners for you, like this deck, like this one here. Anyway, if you don't have a steady hand, and it is, I would suggest getting, well, I just call it a chopper, but it's a cutter such as you would see in schools or something like that. One that has the handle with the blade that comes down. They may cost a little more, or you can even get them at the same price. And I say that because of the fact that I was cutting a deck, and we went to the store, and Michelle was looking, I was talking about getting one, and I really didn't want to spend the money, but I did want to get one because I got a lot of decks. So we went ahead and picked one up at the store, and this right here, do not buy this thing. It's X-Acto. Of course, I looked and seen the ratings on it for Amazon. This thing is a piece of shit. If you want to, brand spanking new. And what it is you can see here, this slides back and forth. And what it is, you're supposed to, you line up your card and you stick it in here, and this bar is on a spring. You push it down, and it's supposed to hold it in place. And this piece you push down, and it's got a circular cutter on it, so it spins. So supposedly, it won't tear your cards or anything, but you push that down and you just slide it. Well, the problem with this is it don't cut straight. We tried and tried and tried, I almost messed this card. This is my first card that I cut. Actually, it did. It would not cut straight. So we tried some index cards. Everything we tried, we could not get this thing to cut a straight line, such as an index card along the lines here. Setting it up perfect wouldn't do the job. So if you're going to buy something, get the one that has the handle that comes down. Those work well. I figured I'd try this one. I didn't think it'd be that big of a problem. I would have freaked out, getting my brand new deck and then chopping up the corners and messing them up. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the rest of these with scissors, which, like I said, I have no problem. I actually cut this deck here with scissors. My Druidcraft, a whole lot smaller, easy to work with, and like I said, it's easy if you've got a steady hand. But again, just want to give that advice. And as you can see, the difference in size, I highly suggest, if you want to chop it, if you want more space, definitely cut these cards down, because now on my table, I can get the full entire spread with no problem. So I just wanted to put that video out there and give advice, especially the roller cutter. If you see those, don't waste your money. I paid 20 bucks for that. Luckily, got the receipt and I'm taking it back. I'm not going to have something that is definitely, no matter how hard we try, I can't cut anything straight. So just something for you to think about, for those who are interested in chopping off their borders, making their Lenormand deck a little smaller, and what definitely not to use for your Lenormand deck.